children.
Mother wouldn't like the idea of me moving down here at all, no. Stay with those you know, she'd say, those you can trust. Only trouble is I don't know anybody. I'd have me deck chair sent bound by rail. Special delivery, I couldn't carry it, you see, not with all my bags. One day I thought, Robert, this is it. The day of reckoning is upon us. So I made a few tongue sandwiches and went just like that, without to buy your leave. Not so much as a tear. Such was the substance of my life at that time. Mother wasn't like me in that respect. 2 weeks in Brighton and do her. It did her good. It did me good to see her so well. We went there just before she died. We stayed at Mrs. Dean. She had a guest house on the front. She would make us Horlicks, you see, and prawn sandwiches every night before we went to bed. That's one of the reasons why we went. She was a lovely woman. She's dead herself now, though. I remember Mrs. Dean. She used to have a saying. She used to say, Robert, when you've got nothing to do, you should look for things to do. At least that's what I do. I did have a selection of postcards depicting Brighton in its many and varied guises. Very colourful they were too, tasteful. I buried them with Mother. I got the idea from a book I was reading at the time, just before she died. I forget its exact title. I got it from the library. It was all about different burial customs throughout the world. So if you were a potter, for example, on Earth, you go to heaven with your pots. Or for another example, if you're a doctor, in life you're buried with all your medicine bottles and whatever it is a doctor uses as a doctor. Stethoscopes, syringes, things like that. Well, Mother was none of these. She'd been in the St John's ambulance, of course, but that was only for 2 weeks. She couldn't afford the uniform, you see. Anyway, I thought about all this and decided to send her off with something nice for a journey. Immediately it came to me, a few postcards of Brighton would go down nicely.
Not much point in me having postcards, really. I can only write to Peter and I can't really put care of a whole lorry, even if I did know the registration number. Spent some lovely afternoons over there. Mrs. Dean would send us off with some prawn sandwiches, a flask of tea, some fruit cake. We'd ravish that down, we would. We'd ravish it. Used to come here a lot when I was younger. With my mother. It was a palace theatre then. It's not much now really, is it? I remember we saw Ken Dodd one summer. I remember because my mother had her handbag pinched in the interval. Yes, it was a lovely week that, lovely weather. We didn't go out though because you see Mother caught the sun on her face and shoulders terribly. I remember in the mornings I'd have to go into her room, you see, and pick the dried skin off the bed linen. Mrs. Dean didn't like anything nasty on the bed linen. She was all right apart from that, but it was just the bed linen, you see. She wasn't very, a bit touchy. I used to sit for hours trying to make a sandcastle. But it was impossible. I mean, how can you make any form of construction out of these? I mean, they don't stick together. I remember one day some lads from across the beach, they started kicking and stamping on my toy boats, and my mother was away buying ice cream at the time. And when she got back, oh, she was livid. She said she'd have throttled them if it hadn't been for a watch on the knee. She could say I was upset. On the Wednesday of holiday week, My mother always had to go to bingo, you see, in the afternoon, and she'd leave me and Mrs. Dean in playing dominoes. Mrs. Dean always won. She had to because of Leslie, you see, because my mother always told me, she said, Mrs. Dean's been a ballroom dancer, and ballroom dancers are always a bit funny, she'd say. Anyway, there were moments when I thought she'd twigged that I was letting her win, because she'd just stand up from the table and run upstairs, and I could hear her shuffling around in her bedroom and playing old gramophone records. Anyway, after about half an hour of this, she'd come downstairs again and she'd pick up the dominoes and put them in the box and run out into the sun lounge and sit there hugging them to her chest. Ah, my mum said, she used to come back and tell her about this, and my mum, she'd say, oh, Robert, she'd say, takes all sorts to make a world, Robert. Takes all sorts. You know, I've only been here a few months, and already this place has a kind of spiritual significance to me. I can see Mother's face at every corner, every bend. Look, she's there now, still smiling. Always smiling she was. We should have moved here years ago. She had all her friends back there, you see. It wouldn't have suited me, I didn't have any friends anyway, you know. I'm here now and I'm not regretting it. I've got a nice little room, a friend of Peter's used to have it. Known to him for a flat, you see. That's one of the reasons why I came down so quickly. Social Security were very kind, they said they'd pay my rent for me and that, and they'd give me some pocket money each week and keep me going sort of thing. I asked them if they wouldn't prefer to give me a job so that it didn't seem like, you know, like I was relying on them. But they seemed to think that their idea was a bit better, so I didn't question it. And who am I to judge anyway? Actually, it's not as much as I've been led to believe, you know, the money. It's still, I don't go out much, I don't drink, and when I do, I only shandies. I don't buy new clothes, I try not to use the gas and electric, and I'm forever watching what I spend on food. Actually, I tell a lie, I bought some gypsy creams last week. Meant having no money over the weekend, but what's life without a bit of frivolity? I've been coming to this community centre near where I live, for coffee mornings like. It's supposed to be for single pensioners, but hardly anyone turns up, so I think they turn a blind eye when I wander in, you know. I expect they're glad to see me for, you know, for the company. It's free coffee and digestives, so I'm not complaining. Never any gypsy creams though. I think I've got a better chance with the ladies here. There seems to be more of them, you know, they're not so downtrodden as they are back home. Perhaps it's something to do with the weather. There is someone I have my eye on. She pretends not to notice me when I lose my digestive in the coffee. I do it on purpose. It made her laugh when I spilt it all down my trousers once. I didn't mean to do that though, it was hot as well, I tell you. I was so embarrassed, but she just kept on laughing, so I didn't ask for another cup. I just went home.
I've come from nowhere, and I'm going nowhere really. I suppose my life's just one long series of unimportant incidents.